Bitcoin could hit 30K or 100K this year. What a range. As analysts warns, the next months could be key. Plan B, the legendary analyst with the stock to flow. That's right. There's less Bitcoin all the time, so they're going up in value. Chart says that it could go to 100K or 30K. Dan Eve, 100K or 30K. Which way will it go?
That's quite a lovely range, isn't it? I like it when like analysts kind of do the well, it could go up or it could go down, and everyone's like, whoa, whoa, very good theories. Yes. But I suppose it leaves your options open, right? Because that way, if it pumps, then you're right, and if it dumps, then you're right. So you've got the angles covered, and people only remember the hits, right? It's like with psychics, they do the kind of the cold stuff, and people remember. They're like, oh, that's Sandra, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's definitely Sandra. But at the end of the day, it does seem to be flowing in the same way as the stock to flow. It kind of kept in the blue lines, in the blue area, and it just seems like we're not double topping, or at least I hope not. And if anything, I think it's going to be a really scary point when we start to reach the previous all-time high. If it cuts, that's going to be like a real nail biter, because if it pops over the top, then we're mooning, and if not, then that's going to be shut up shop for the next 3 years, and everyone on a downer, whilst we slowly lose a bit of the Bitcoin height, and then gain traction again once the next halvening happens. So I'm on the side of 100K, yeah. And I think actually pretty much this time last week it was almost exactly the same price, I think. So or maybe just a slightly fraction higher. So hopefully by the end of the show, if everyone buys a bit of Bitcoin, then I would have been right in my prediction last week that Bitcoin went up. So please buy Bitcoin.
It's never too late. Joshua Shigala.
Hey, this is why the importance of dollar cost averaging or gold cost averaging in the Voltorio world is really the way to go. These analysts, like Dan said, are always doing the same thing. If you watch every single analyst, they're like, if we see this reach that and test it again, we will go up. But if we see this and that, it will go down probably just as much as, like, it's always at the end of watching the video, you're always like, I'm not any wiser at all. The thing with trading, like if you want to be a trader, really what you're looking for is not, it's definitely going up, definitely going down. And this is why they do that. It's more about like, okay, the chance is like 45% that it'll go down and 55% that it'll go up, according to, all sorts of triangles and squares and squiggly lines. And that's what you want to try to trade on, is that tiny percentage difference. And you'll probably lose most of the time, but you'll sometimes win. So, that's what it's all about. But it's a kind of a bit of a slap in the face, that article. I mean, what? Why even publish that article? What's the point of it? What is it like? It's either going to go down 10 grand or 20 or up to, like, all right. Whatever.
It's a competition for the largest range. And we all know that the true and only predictor of Bitcoin is right here, and that it's correct 100% of the time. Yeah. Ben Ark, go ahead.
For their readership, they've got to publish these articles. I think everyone, when they first start getting into Bitcoin and maybe buy a little bit of Bitcoin, they'll often just Google the Bitcoin price and they'll just look for articles which talk about the Bitcoin price. So there's a big demand for readership there, which obviously it's intensely boring, and it goes up. It's got a limited supply, huge increase in demand because the technology is amazing, and we all know that. And it's still, a very nuanced and underused technology. And then occasionally we have some wild cards, some of them baked in, such as the halvening events, which obviously have a big impact on price and supply, and then some of them which aren't baked in, some of them which are unforeseen, such as the Elon Musk. That means someone just placed a bet there. Hope you won. Make sure you click on the link in your wallet. Some of them unforeseen, like Elon Musk tweeting out, which can affect the price dramatically. So with the stock to flow ratio thing, I mean, it's such a wide channel. Oh, you lost. It's such a wide channel that
So you lost, mate.
that they're always they're always going to be right in one way or the other. But yeah, it's a pointless article. It's 30k by the end of the year or 100k by the you're hedging your bets there, aren't you, by following those two different traders' advice?
Yeah.
But it goes up in value because it's really good technology, and there's not enough people are using it, and it's going to continue to go up in value because of that. Buy it, hold it for 5 years, don't do anything with it, don't try and trade it, and then if you've bought a decent amount, like 10 grand's worth, then you'll probably be able to retire on whatever you make. So yeah, buy it, hold it for 5 years, and don't do anything with it. That's my advice.
Gabriel D. Vine, it's the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, we've never discussed this before.
This is my first time talking about the price of Bitcoin, and this is amazing. That thing slapping you, Ben. I mean, that was hilarious. That's incredible that you just set that up to automatically slap you in the face when somebody bets. That's genius. And I love the price ticker there surging up today a little bit after yesterday's correction of 3.5%. And to answer why this article exists, yes, it's meaningless, but online magazines are content mills. They make their money by getting clicks and having eyeballs on the ads. I should know. So I'm sticking by my my prediction from the last show that we did, which is $425,000 per Bitcoin, 2021 peak, and a 90% correction or 85% correction after that. And I do agree with what's his face, the guy in the article, the S2F model guy, that we're looking at like 100,000 ish. That's my bear market price. So like 90, 80, 110, 120, somewhere around there for like the bear market of 22 to 23.
Martin Wishmayer, your thoughts?
It's a typical Cointelegraph article. They took a tweet and they just made an entire article around it. I saw a retweet from Plan B where he linked to the podcast where there was this analyst explaining that there's diminishing returns and it takes longer for a bull run to pan out. But he also said that he basically just had 2 data points. So if you make a prediction based on 2 data points, it's like nonsense in is nonsense out. So I really don't know what to think about it. But Plan B had a stock to flow. Then it came stock to flow version 2. And then it was stock to flow FX or something like that. And the original stock to flow prediction, or the model, predicted a price of 50K per Bitcoin in December 2021, and I wouldn't be surprised if that will actually pan out that way. I always thought the 100 was a bit bullish, but 50K at the end of the year, yeah, sounds reasonable. I hope it will be higher, of course, and but as Josh said, all these analysts are all it's like going to a fortune teller on a fair. And at World Crypto Network, the only indicator we trust is this Magic 8 Ball. So, we don't need those analysts.
And it's almost time to hear from that incredible ball, the prognosticator of prognosticators, predictor of predictors. But first, we have to ask you, Dan Eve, higher or lower?
Higher.
Gabriel D. Vine.
We're going higher. We're gonna break the recent high of 50.5 or whatever that was.
Oh yeah.
Ben Ark ducking the slapping machine.
Yeah, higher. The you can just see in our show right now, the price is rocketing up. There's lots of people buying, and it's moving the price a lot. So yeah, higher.
Joshua Shigala.
Going lower. Lower, way lower. No, fucking higher. Lower, maybe. It's not going to stand still, that's for sure.
Martin Wishmayer.
I think we'll go sideways for a while. We're trading within this narrow band. It will probably go sideways for a while.
Sideways. And now We will ask the ball, the predictor of predictors. This is the only thing you need to trust. So these are the only truth. Will the price of Bitcoin be higher this time next week? Most likely. Most likely. Which again,
You know what
Thomas.
we need?